Welcome into sports. I'm Yaw Bonsu. Giants and Dolphins today from Hard Rock Stadium. The only way to describe this game is fast and furious. The Knicks are back in primetime facing the Bulls. Only the second game for New York since trading for OG Anunoby. We're here at the Jets practice facility only 4 days until New York's home opener against the Bills on Monday Night Football. And for receiver McCole Hardman, he's going to be playing with quarterback Aaron Rodgers for the very first time. It is win or go home for the New York Liberty tonight. No team has ever come back from down 2-0 in the WNBA Finals, but suddenly momentum may have shifted towards the side of New York. For the Aces, they're going to be without last year's final MVP, Chelsea Gray. She is out with a foot injury. Add that to the fact that Candace Parker has yet to touch the floor in these finals. It is finally time for court to reconvene. Yankees captain Aaron Judge was activated off the IL for the Yanks matchup against the Orioles tonight. Judge missing 42 games with a torn ligament in his right big toe. What better way to end the first Sunday of the football season than with Giants-Cowboys here at MetLife Stadium. For the Cowboys, general manager and owner Jerry Jones says this team is as good as it's ever been under his leadership. Battle of the Badges Part 2. After being rained out last week, former Met David Wright is back at Citi Field for his annual FDNY versus NYPD exhibition baseball game. It's not often you see a cross-section between the NFL and MLB, but today, to kick off New York Yankees Hope Week, that is exactly what happened. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin made his way to Yankee Stadium to conduct CPR training. NFL Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers already brought over old Packer teammates to Gang Green, so why not bring in old NFC North foe too? The Jets are prepping for a meeting with free agent running back Dalvin Cook. Cook was cut from the Vikings after tallying over 1,000 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. As for the New York teams, the Knicks, they have no first-round picks tonight, but the Nets do. They will be picking at back-to-back picks at number 21 and 22 overall. NBA, the finals kick off tomorrow in Denver. The top-seeded Nuggets facing the 8th-seeded Heat. First time a 1-seed and 8-seed will battle for the Larry O'Brien Trophy since 1999. Opening week at the U.S. Open is coming to an end. Novak Djokovic and Coco Gauff play later tonight. Emma Von Essen playing for Hofstra is pretty much destiny. Take a look at this photo that she posted on Instagram only a few weeks ago. She was a 9-year-old watching Hofstra games in the MAC. I spoke to her about the post, and she said her mom found the photo lying around in a drawer. Emma almost started crying when she saw it. She pointed out Nicole Capurso as one of the players she would grow up watching. Nicole worked for Emma's dad, and get this, years later on Emma's recruiting visit, there was a video shown to Emma of Nicole Capurso pitching her on being a member of the Pride, and it was at that moment that she knew Hofstra was for her. And Kevin, I'm guessing you called those games back when Emma was 9 years old.
Yeah, you're making me feel old.
We had no word on if Aaron Rodgers will be missing the rest of the season with an Achilles injury. However, head coach Robert Saleh, he's preparing for the worst. WNBA, the battle of super teams we have all been waiting for is finally here. Game 1 of the finals between the Liberty and Aces. New York led by 3 at the half. You could thank Maureen Johannes for that. 9 points, all off three-pointers, including this ridiculous one-legged three. It only took 79 days, but Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers is finally back on the practice field. Of course, Rodgers returning from that torn Achilles, back on week 1 of the NFL season against the Bills. Does anything else really need to be said? An absolute annihilation here at MetLife Stadium. The Cowboys defeating the Giants 40-0 in an absolute beatdown. U.S. amputee soccer includes more than just the volunteers playing on the pitch. It also includes the younger generation. 9-year-old David suffered from an accident last year, and now he's back on the soccer field playing his childhood game. Meanwhile, over in Detroit, the craziest game of NFL hot potato you will ever see. The Lions on 1st and 10 against the Panthers. The ball changed hands 4 different times to 4 different players, and it all ended with the rookie, Sam Laporta, sneaking his way into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game. You saw that Coach Waterman had the numbers off the top of his head. He was also a dean of students at the Sanford School, impacting students while getting those 500 wins and state titles. I also talked to him about the 2 skills that carry over from his time as a dean to now coaching at Delaware State, and he says the top 2 are discipline and accountability. Chris?
Yeah, first of all, that last question was great because you convinced. I'm ready to play for the coach. I'm ready to see how they
Great job.
Yeah, exactly.
For Kansas City All-Pro offensive lineman Joe Thuney, he's expected to miss the game on Sunday. How would you, as a former defensive player, take advantage of him being missing in the game?
Well, his replacement did a good job last week. He really did. So normally, if you got a backup in the game, you like to put your best guy over him and test him out early just to see, how he's handling the nerves, how he's handling the situation. But they've done a great job replacing him, so it's just going to come down to playing good football. I mean, just really going out there, and the 49ers have a great defensive line, so just playing their game and being who they are.
With this new style of play, obviously, you guys are going to be playing quick and fast. What changes are you seeing in your game under Coach Pitino?
Definitely my conditioning-wise has been different. I feel like I'm in one of the best shapes I've ever been in my life. My style of play, too. I mean, I'm shooting a lot of perimeter shots now, working on my handle outside, too. So definitely I feel like that has been different for me.
How have you leaned on your faith to not only get through the injury, but the season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not being suspended the first 6 games, I just had to really just dial in and know that God has a plan for me and just trust what he has for me. And then for my injury, it's been hard, bro. Like, I don't understand why, but what can I do? I can only thank him for what I have done. And every trial I've ever had, I've always came back on top at the end. Just hopefully this next time I finish and be able to enjoy everything I wanted out of this game and life.
And you rank 2nd in the league in scoring, but to play with players like Courtney and Sabrina, how do they impact your game and allow you to reach new heights in your game?
Yeah, Sab and Sloot definitely have a positive impact on my game. Just their ability, their court awareness to always kind of find me, know the right time of when they should attack or when they should dish it to a teammate. But it's been a lot of fun. We had a crazy free agency, and now, for us to all be playing together is exactly what we wanted.
I want to show the audience this. Talk about an icebreaker. Paul carries this jug around everywhere he goes. So, Paul, talk to me about the preparation. What does it take to get yourself in peak condition for these long races?
I think it's just you got to love what you do. And, I carry this around. It is heavy when it's full, but, everyone, if you see me around campus, I will be holding my Yeti. And it's a part of me. It's what I do. It's what I need to complete every day to make sure I'm staying hydrated, always making sure I take my electrolytes, to bed early, and, never taking anything for granted when it comes to running because, injuries happen, and you never want to miss a key part in the other little things.
How gratifying is it for you to see your son Christian have an MVP caliber season and make it to the Super Bowl?
Well, thank you. It's incredible. I mean, as a parent, you just want your kid to be happy and to pursue their dreams, and this has been a dream of Christian since he was 7 years old.
Taking on a new role as a leader, somebody who's won a national championship, what is the biggest lesson you have, not only for the younger guys, but for the guys who haven't won a national championship?
The biggest lesson is take one day at a time and develop that dog mentality every day, because, tomorrow's not promised. Play every game like it's your last, especially in March. It is your last. I feel like going to Connecticut last year, I feel like everybody played with that, edge, and I feel like I'm going to bring that with this team.
Coach, reflect on your journey with me from being a kid, playing ball in Wilmington, to now coaching on the national stage of the Legacy Classic. How does it feel?
Man, it's awesome. It's quite a journey. Any coach who told you that they had an opportunity to coach high school and then to be able to make that jump to Division I, it's an amazing, amazing experience. For me, a special one and a personal one.
The sweet sound of cup stacking. It is no walk in the park, but for Merrick resident Gabe Derwin, it is clockwork.
Well, after you learned it for a certain amount of time, it gets easier.
Gabe is a student at Nassau Community College. He's been cup stacking for over a decade and is believed to be the highest ranked stacker in Nassau County.
It's kind of wired into my brain how to do this. So I feel like I can just show off.
Showing off is an understatement. What started off as a hobby turned into an unconventional way of connecting with others.
I actually have autism. So especially in the cup stacking community and the cup stacking in general, it's kind of made me find a home.
A home with high standards. There are tons of sequences and patterns that stackers have to memorize and execute as quickly as possible.
I can be like under 10 seconds for the hardest event.
It really is practice makes perfect. Gabe even started a YouTube channel to document his progress. His first competition was at 13 years old. He placed at the bottom in his division. Now at 20, the quicker he is, the more haters he has.
People comment on some people's videos, even mine, saying like, ha, I can do this so fast, I can do it faster than you. But in reality, they've never touched a cup like this.
And if you try to learn the sport in 10 minutes,
go.
How? You'll end up like me. Cup stacking. It takes time if you want to be great.
Cup stacking has definitely made me find a way with people that understand me.
Reporting in Merrick, I'm Yaw Bonsu. Every day when 12-year-old Emma comes home from school,
okay, open.
She gets right into her wheelchair and literally climbs her way inside with no ramp. But this was not always her reality.
She was your normal, average, well, not average, never, but your normal little girl.
Emma danced and was a gymnast. On a trip to Pennsylvania in 2018, she began to feel pain in her lower body.
My leg was hanging funny, and my mom and my aunt thought that I dislocated my hip from swimming too much.
The ER doctor told me at that point if I didn't have her rushed to a children's hospital, she probably would not survive the car ride home.
Emma had to be airlifted to another hospital to figure out what was going on. After being misdiagnosed 4 times, it was clear Emma's day-to-day was going to include a wheelchair.
She had something called acute flaccid myelitis. Extremely rare condition, affects 1 in a million children.
I definitely probably cried. I was thinking that my life would just be, I go to school, come home, lay on the couch, go on my phone, and just do nothing.
There is still no clear cause, but Emma was pleasantly mistaken about just doing nothing. Enter wheelchair basketball.
That's one of the only wheelchair sports that you can get a scholarship for college. And my mom didn't want me to play because she was scared of me flipping.
After some strong-arm convincing, Emma became a member of the New York Rolling Fury, playing competitively. Her driveway is her practice court. Her street, pretty much a treadmill. Oh, and she did solve that potential flipping issue.
I know how to assemble a chair, I know how to put the wheels on, I know how to take them off. I know if I flip, I know how to get back into my chair.
She's the one that has to do all the work. I'm just facilitating it. And if she's not complaining, why am I complaining about it?
When Emma was first diagnosed, she became the 2nd patient ever at St. Mary's Hospital in Queens to do locomotive therapy. Emma has regained motion everywhere except in her left leg, with no clear answer on whether she will walk again. But no matter what, she'll always keep that ball bouncing.
I'm a really good adapter to hard situations.
You only get things that you can handle, and not only can she handle this, she's exceeding it. She's just breaking down every barrier I know.
Reporting in Bohemia, I'm Yaw Bonsu.
So I just spin, and I just spin.
Tick, tock, tick, tock. If you get that rhythm, you can double dutch. Here at Uniondale High School, Yokana Orange works to revive the sport through the Duchess of Ropes, an organization made to combat obesity through jumping rope.
Being that that's the leading cause of death for black women, I had to come up with a way and find a solution that was going to aid and assist in that.
Double Dutch not only brings a good workout, but a sense of nostalgia for some of the women.
Everyone leaves their stress and their bills and their kids at the door, and they come here and they just rewind the clock back, and now they're 16 again.
It kept us off the streets, it kept us busy. We started doing teams, competitions, and this is when I was 10.
Over 50 years later, at 66 years old, Phillips Aliu is the oldest member of the organization. These women often take their skills to the streets, performing in front of large crowds, reminding them what Double Dutch is. The most important thing is the bond that being a Duchess brings.
I also wanted a sisterhood type of group that I know I would get support from and that I can also give support to.
I needed something to keep my mind and spirit and body occupied, and I think I found that in this particular group.
That loyalty that these women bring to the group is really what keeps the heartbeat of the Duchess of Ropes.
A heartbeat that is heard through everyone who wants to be shown the ropes, and that includes reporters.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
That was good. Reporting in Uniondale, I'm Yaw Bonsu.